We're learning to be tool safe.
Watch this video to find out the safety guidelines for this equipment.
Video or film productions often require video lights mounted on stands. Before setting up lighting for a production, you may need to be aware of potential hazards and how to minimize any problems on set. Your teacher likely has video shoot planning sheets, a location scout plan, and an equipment sign-out method to ensure they know what's up.
First of all, we need to be sure that we use the correct stands, clamps, bulbs, weights, and fixtures, and all of it is in proper working order.
Secondly, it is important to protect our eyes with the approved safety eyewear and to use gloves while handling lighting that is hot from operation.
One of the main issues surrounding video lighting is the tripping hazards from light stands and power cords.
Make a plan for your video shoot with a sketch of the location setup. Do a location scout in advance to know where you are going to plug in.
Have an idea of how much equipment you are planning to bring, how you will be transporting it with a cart or extra hands. Especially think about navigating stairs or needing elevator access if you need a lot of equipment. It's a good idea to do a short inventory of what you are responsible for after signing it out.
When you arrive at your location with the equipment, establish where your stands are going to be. Unfold the base, making sure the clamp is tight and the stand cannot slip.
But make sure you don't overturn or crank on the knob hard, or it will strip the screw threads that hold the tension and the light stand will be broken. There's nothing worse than a brand new light stand with a broken tension knob that's usually hard to replace. The tension has to be just right. It's not too much or too little. If you're not sure, ask for a demonstration from your teacher.
This is the same with all video and photography camera equipment in general. Because production kits are designed to extend or tension at awkward positions, you have to know how not to damage them by understanding how they work. If in doubt, look at the manuals that come with the equipment.
You will need to use sandbags or other designated weights to keep the stand secure from toppling over. Test it out by lightly pulling on the stand, securing weights as required.
It's important to note where there are heat-sensitive sensors in your building, as some hot lights may set off fire alarms or sprinkler systems if positioned poorly. The last thing you need is for that to rain on your parade with electricity all around.
Set up your stands at a safe working height for the activity, making sure clamps are secure before placing the light on the stand. The taller the stand is extended, the more weight it will need on the bottom to stay stable.
Lights cannot be allowed to tip as the fixture will break and the bulbs are expensive and may explode. If your light does tip, notify your teacher as you don't want anyone to get a shock. Secure the light fixture on the stand, making sure it is also secure and cannot fall out.
At any time you discover a broken or inoperable part of your equipment, notify your teacher immediately. Do not attempt to jury-rig or duct tape your own solutions.
If we are going to use a boom or install a heavy light modifier like a softbox diffuser, we need to make sure it balances by using a counterweight. Test your setup with the help of some of your teammates.
You should keep in mind throughout the setup that you should only use non-flammable or non-melting clips to support any gels or diffusers.
Use only approved materials as the light will generate extreme heat and could melt or burn the wrong materials or even cause a fire. Be aware of any smells that suggest overheating or burning of accessories or gels or diffusers.
Next, you need to supply power to your light. Check your power cord. Make sure there are no kinked areas, cuts, or frays. Make sure the plug is in good shape. If you need an extension cord or power outlets, make sure they are also in good shape and can handle the load.
Video lights may require a lot of power, usually up to 500 watts. Your typical household lights are 60 to 100 watts. The typical power outlet is fused or breakered for 15 amps, which means that any device that exceeds that will blow a fuse or breaker.
A typical power outlet may handle 1 or 2 500-watt lights. Your teacher can advise you on the power requirements and circuit designs of the classroom, theater, or studio.
If you need extension cords, you have to ensure that they can handle the electrical load. Do not use power bars or extension cords that cannot handle the load. They can cause overheating and even a fire or shock hazard. See your teacher for advice if you aren't sure.
If you feel a warm extension cable or plug, immediately shut off the fixture and unplug the cable and ask your teacher for more safety direction.
You have to give some slack to your power cord at the light stand to minimize someone tripping and kicking over the light. Lay out the power cords and any extensions along the walls if possible. Tape down the cables to prevent accidental tripping.
In a typical shoot, you may have to move and adjust lights several times. Do not move lights or light stands without first turning off power. Never handle hot lights without wearing protective gloves. Unplug lights from power sources first if you're going to move around cables or reposition lights. There are no shortcuts in safety.
Once you're done, it's time for teardown. Shut off the lights and let the light cool down significantly before removing them from the stands. Clear other items from set while waiting for them to adequately cool.
Don't rush light cooling. Unplug lights from power source only after cooldown if the lights have an internal fan. Unplug power cords from lights if it is designed to do so for packing.
Wrap up cables and extension cords neatly without twists or kinks. Don't ever tightly wind electrical cables and don't go against their natural wind. They will last longer and be safer. Do a last look around your location for any accessories.
Put everything back in its designated storage areas. You do not want the frustration of looking for missing items or finding broken or inoperable parts. A safe studio is ready to go at all times. Let's do our toolSAFE review.
Plan your location and placement and plugins. Do inventory and think about movement of equipment. Light stands must be carefully clamped and weighted to prevent falling over. Power cords and extensions need to be located and taped to prevent tripping.
Video lights generate extreme heat. Always handle with gloves. Lights need to be cool before striking in storage. Clean up the storage area and have it ready for the next video shoot.
And if you're not sure about anything for safety, ask your teacher for more direction.
And be tool safe.